Listening to the Mindset Mentor podcast, and he was talking about how if you just if you just choose to start playing basketball for 16 hours a day, eventually after like about 5 years, you'll become so far ahead. Like you'll become a great basketball player, right? And that got me thinking, like, well, 16 hours a day, you take out 8 hours to sleep, so that's the whole day you're practicing basketball, right? And then I thought, like, well, not everyone has that much time, right? And then I started thinking, well, obviously that's why kids start young at basketball or whatever they're doing to grow up to become a pro, right? Is because they have so much time. And so I thought, like, well, if people didn't have to work, and then everybody would have that much time, right? And then it got me thinking, like, well, look at rich kids, right? They're so rich, they don't have to work a day of their lives, basically, right? And there's some cases where their parents would want them to, right? But basically, just if you were rich, I wouldn't want to work a day in my life. So this got me thinking, like, well, the only thing they have to worry about is probably school, right? If they're kids, if they're rich kids. So why isn't there more rich kids where they just take all the time that they have and become a pro or something, right? Like like if if I was rich, I'd I'd want to start young, right? And the only thing I have to worry about is going to school, and so that's what, 8 hours of school a day. So now I have 8 hours left to play basketball, and let's just keep this topic of basketball up, okay? So then they play 8 hours a day for basketball, and then they go to sleep, and that goes on till high school, right? And then they're pretty good basketball players so far, and then they graduate high school. They don't have to go to college if they don't want to, but let's say, yeah, let's say they don't go to college and then they just keep playing and playing and playing, right? They're gonna be so good by then, and then let's say they did go to college. If they did go to college, they'd probably be on the team, and then they'd go to the NBA, right? But why does it have to be just basketball? That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that, like, it could be they could be a musician, right? Or they could just any skill, right? So why isn't there more rich? Man, why isn't there more rich people like that, where they just take all the time that they have because they don't have to worry about working, and they just go off and do any skill that they want, and it's just like, because I guess maybe I'm dumb. Maybe there's a lot of kids like that, but I just don't see it. I just don't see a lot of rich kids doing that. But it'd be very useful. They could be like, they could just study. They could be rich and they don't have to work, so they could just study and like become a scientist and just become like something big because they have all the time in the world. They don't, they have all, like, they're rich, so they have money, so they have more time because they don't have to work. So that's what I'm thinking. That was an insight, and follow my TikTok if you want to see more insights.